Krishna, this section from 39 to 49, the second chapter. So here, till now, he was talking about jnana and karma. Jnana about, the body or the soul, that is jnana. And he was talking also about karma. That means how you do it for your enjoyment. Yes, he was telling him to work because it will make you happy. So that is karma. And now he's going to tell about Buddhi Yoga. And the first verse we did yesterday, that he's telling that about Buddhi Yoga. Those are, 39. He said, thus far I've described this knowledge to you. Now listen as I explaining it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So how do we work? Because, and then Prabhupada explains that if you work like this, because you have to do it without thinking about the results, okay, without fruitive results, when you act in such a knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So that's the only thing. It is not the work itself which is binding us. It is the attachment to the results. And then, of course, we do work so that the results will be good. And nobody works without, if you don't want to get good results, then you won't have any motivation to work, right? Like in communism, in Russia, where communism was prevalent before the 90s. And they didn't have any incentive to work. Communists became very lazy. In one sense, communism is good because it tells them each one should work according to their capability. They will be paid according to their needs. So this is how it was. So say a very intelligent engineer, say, he's got a small family, just 2 people and 1 son. And then there is a poor person who's not educated, but he's got a large family. Then the government will pay less to the person who's contributing more. And someone, so he will, the farmer, say he's an illiterate farmer, he will get according more because his family is bigger. So this was communism, each according to his need, but they give out. So it's very nice. It's like, only thing is they were totally atheistic. And then they said, you work for the government. And the government was headed by some people who took all the money for themselves, but for everyone else, they propagated communism. So it didn't work out. But people were not motivated to give the best. Because, of course, not working for fruitive results is a good thing. They were not, they did work because they just had to. The government forced you. If you didn't work, finish. They will punish you, put you in a concentration camp, and so on. So in the same way, normally, but it was better than capitalist in one sense, because this was too much on the money part. Capitalistic society, money is the only criteria. So at least they didn't have money as the criteria. But because they didn't have any fruitive results to look forward to, they didn't work at all. That's why they became very, very lazy. So normally in the material world, people have got some desire to enjoy for themselves, and that is what makes them work. And now Krishna is saying we should work without thinking of fruitive results for him. We should work for the sake of Krishna, and then he will provide us everything. Whatever, he knows how to take care of us. Now, this is what the communist government was substituting for Krishna. They said, we will take care and you work for us. It doesn't work. It didn't work because they're not God. But here, what happens is when we work like this, we do the work according to our talent, best of ability, everything. We do for good results only. But whatever Krishna gives, in spite of our efforts, whatever results come, we are satisfied. So when we work like that, then what happens? We get connected to the Super Soul, the Paramatma, because we are doing exactly like what he wants us to do. And then he gives us the intelligence, Buddhi Yoga. So this is Buddhi Yoga. working process in Buddhi Yoga or Karma Yoga. In other words, the practice of devotional service only for the sense gratification of the Lord. Now, we might think, what does the Lord have to, why is he interested if a company sells, so many different things? I mean, they will say you're working for a company and they say you're in the sales department and they have some targets to make this, so to produce so much, to sell so much. So if you're meeting with that targets, how will that satisfy Krishna? Krishna is not interested in that. No, he's in a different world, okay, the spiritual. So we don't see the connection between our job and Krishna, because at least in a Varnashrama society, where, in a rural setting, when you're working on the land, you know that this is all nature, it's controlled by Krishna and all that. But when you're working in an urban setup where, it has nothing to do with nature, or you can't see how God is controlling in the corporate offices and so on. But everything is coming from Krishna. That we should remember. That even the ability, even the company is functioning by Krishna's mercy, by his intelligence. That intelligence is also supplied by him. All the manufacturing, what we think, oh, we've got such big factories and all that, where are they getting the raw materials from? It is from the nature created by Krishna. And where are they getting all the intelligence from? That is also coming from Krishna. So we know that even Krishna provides us intelligence, how to work in an office. I knew of a person, he was from IIT, and then he was working for his trainee, for his internship, he worked in Mafatlal. And there, because he was a devotee, he said something was wrong with one of the machines, and everybody was trying to figure out what to do. And because he was chanting Hare Krishna mantra and, he was doing his job for very nicely for pleasing Krishna, then he got the idea how to solve it. And he did it. And they were all so fascinated. They said that, we want to give you a permanent position. I mean, you join us and all that. Or he got the offer. And they didn't know how he figured it out. So that is what, even in the job, in whatever work we are doing, at home or at work or in society, whatever, if we are doing it, that let me do my best very sincerely, because for the sake of Krishna, everything is coming from Krishna. So we should see the link. All people are coming from him. Everything in this world is created by him. Intelligence is given by him. Then we will be very convinced that I will do my best and get the also intelligence from Krishna. So now he's from 39 to 49, he's going to explain this in detail. More about this. There's text 40, this is an important verse. Neha Bikrama nasosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So, there is no loss or diminution means that, suppose, suppose you started a big business. There are so many big businessmen and they've got, they're billionaires, trillionaires, huge industries they may own. But at the end of life, when they die, next life, they're not going to take any of this. So there is a loss, right? At the end of life, you lose everything. And then you have to restart again in your next life. But in Krishna consciousness, there is no loss nor diminution. Nothing is reduced even. Whatever advancement you make, it is in your spiritual bank account. And in your next life, you'll start from where you left off. For example, if you make 40% progress in this life, then in the next life, you will start from 41%. It's not that you have to start from zero. So that is why it says, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So what is that fear? Fear of being degraded to a lower species. So if we are doing Krishna consciousness, then for sure at least get a human birth. No, but I want to tell you a special story from the Srimad Bhagavatam on King Bharata. I don't know if I shared the same story earlier, but anyway, in this, in order to share, give an example of reincarnation of how King Bharata, he had given up his entire, kingdom, his family, everything, and he had taken to the forest in order to make spiritual advancement, progress. And there, actually, he had advanced a lot. He would become 99% perfect. But because he was a little inattentive, what happened? He tried to save a deer, this thing from, a mother, a doe. She was trying to cross the river. She heard the roar of a lion. And so she got so frightened. She wanted to, she thought the lion was coming from this side. So she wanted to jump across the river. But meanwhile, what happened? She delivered. The baby just fell out and she jumped and went to the other side. So now she was afraid to come back. And so this doe, this buck was just lying there and, and right in front of this one, Bharata Muni's ashram. And when he saw that, he was, devotees, how Arjuna was also so compassionate, so filled with, thought for others, so caring. And so picked up the buck and he started caring for it. He started feeding, something because the mother was not there. Um, so he would, so he thought I should keep it alive. And if I just leave it in the forest, no other animal is going to take care. They might eat it up. So due to these considerations, he was bringing it up. And then what happened? Naturally, the buck developed so much attachment to him because he was playing the part of a mother. So whenever he sat for meditation, it would come and, want to play with him. It would lick him, distract him in so many ways. And he would feel, oh, poor baby, it's just depending on me. And so in this way, he became very, very attached to it. He could have consulted. His mistake was, the deer was disturbing him. He should have consulted either his guru or at least a senior Vaishnava. What should I do now? Can I continue taking care of the buck, or what should I do with it? He just continued in this way without even thinking that there was anything wrong. He didn't, that's why we have to review. Suddenly, changes happen in our life. And then we can't just carry on without thinking whether I'm going in the right path. And because of that, he became overly attached to this buck. And at the time, so once, the buck was missing and he was so anxious. He was thinking, oh, the buck, maybe I displeased it and it ran away. I don't know what animal would have attacked it and what would have happened to it. So he was just contemplating very intensely about the buck. And then he tripped and he fell down and he died. So because at the time of death, he was meditating on the buck, the deer, the next body he got that of a deer. But because he was very advanced in Krishna consciousness, Krishna allowed him to remember his previous life. And he was feeling so bad. He was, regretting, why did I spoil my life like this? I had achieved so much of spiritual perfection. I'd given up my kingdom, my family, everything. His material life is quite okay, good in all respects. People just do so much tapasya to get this situation, but he just renounced it as if it was nothing. But due to some, because of my recklessness, inattention to spiritual life, I lost my whole life and again I have to be born as a deer. So in the deer's body, he kept away from even his deer family, and he went to the same place, it was close to where that ashram he used to be as Bharat Maharaj. Sat down there and he was just thinking about, how, he was repenting for all that. He couldn't do any activities or even meditate in a deer's body. He remembered and he was very regretful and he didn't want to, he wasn't even interested in being with all the other deers and so on, with his family. And so, of course, dear body, it's a short life. So within 12 years or so, he died. And then he was born as Jada Bharata in a Brahmana family. And then he was, so we see how the consciousness is carried forth, you know, even a little, though in his case, normally it doesn't happen like that. That, you know, I mean, it can happen if a devotee, for example, they become attached to dogs. They keep dogs at home. And then that's also dangerous because if at the time of leaving your body, you're thinking of your dog or looking at it, then you might get a dog's body. So it's very serious business, When we are not aware of all this, then we can do so many things. But then when we are aware of this reality, then we have to be very cautious in our life. We can be kind to animals. Definitely we should, and there are many Brahmanas also who grow dogs, but outside the house and feed the dog outside, not place in the house. Dog comes and licks you and does everything. And, you, yeah, no place has got any sanctity. So that's very bad. So anyway, we see how he carried forward whatever he never got, it never got lost. Even in the body of Jadabharat, he was aware of Krishna as he had he was aware of Krishna in the body of Maharaja Bharat. So that is why he says, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and even a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Normally, normally it says that if you are um, eating a lot of meat and all that, because you're killing animals, then you have to take the reaction. Then you have to, if you're engaged in a lot of sinful activities, then also. But if we do a little bit of progress, make a little bit of progress in Krishna consciousness, then the advantage is that at least you'll get a human body and nice opportunities to make further spiritual progress in Krishna consciousness. Then text 41. Vyavasayatmika, this verse is also important to learn by heart. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahuchaka hi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. So those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So, because why do these people, okay, they should be resolute in purpose. Point. How can we be resolute in purpose? Because we don't see Krishna. We are seeing all these things around us. So our faith is more in what we can see, right? In the material world, we see people, we see so many things. And then we have faith, okay, in the laws that are governing nature, in society. So we believe more in physical sciences or even something that we can see with our eyes. Now, how do we have unflinching faith in something we cannot see? Isn't it? Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. So for that, we have to have a lot of faith, isn't it? A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness, one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika intelligence. So this is very, very elevated because it says when one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. Not that Vaishnava is a freak. It means that because everything is created by Krishna conscious person, he acts like in the mode of goodness in society. He follows all the rules, whatever. He's a very good citizen. He's a gentleman. But this means that sometimes, if the whole world is going in a wrong direction, Vaishnava will not follow them. He will do according to what Krishna says is right. So that is what it means. He need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality, not on a regular basis, but whatever comes in the path, comes against Krishna consciousness, then he is not worried. Even if everybody opposes him, he will do what Krishna says is correct. That's what it means. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. Highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. So we start with understanding how Krishna is God, and that he's there in the temple, in the deity form, and we can also worship him at home. He's there in his picture, and mostly he's there in the holy name, and which we recite a chant with our tongue and then hear with our ears, so we can experience Krishna through our sound, through the sound. So this is how we begin. At least theoretically, we have faith that the mantra is Krishna himself. So if we continue like that, then we are, as our faith becomes stronger and stronger, and we read from the scriptures, who is Krishna, where does he live, what are his different expansions, how does he manage this universe, how did he create this universe, what are all his leelas. When you hear all that, then your faith becomes very strong. And because of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we are identifying more and more with our soul. Then we get faith in Krishna. So it happens naturally. It's not that some people have faith and some people don't have faith. Everybody can have faith, because originally we are all parts of Krishna and we are all devotees of Krishna. But only now, because of being in this material world due to period of time, we have developed different coverings and attachments. So, as by watering, Prabhupada says, as by watering the root tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. So we can see how Krishna is very much related to everyone. Right? I can give you the story of how, by satisfying Krishna, everybody's satisfied. You know what happened during Mahabharata times. So when there's Pandavas were banished to the forest, and they were, because they had got this Akshay Patra was given by the sun god. I think. So he said that because in the forest, very difficult, all six of them, right? At that time, no, Kunti was not there probably. Yeah, only the Pandavas and Draupadi. And they had to maintain themselves. So, and then people also came, dropped into their place and all that. So this Akshay Patra was that they could just pay, and then any amount of food would be available. But the thing is that after the wife, the woman of the house, after she had finished eating, and then she washed the pots, then for the remaining part of the day, nothing, you cannot have anything. After that, it will not produce anything more. So they probably, I don't know, they had only once a day meal, maybe. Or maybe every time you ask for the food, only, I mean, after the lady of the house, she finishes eating, then it won't produce anymore. So Duryodhana knew about this, and he purposely wanted them to get all curses from people. So he told Durvas Muni, he was going to the forest, said, please go and visit my cousins, Pandavas, as if he was so concerned for them. And so Durvas Muni thought, okay, he went there. And when they saw him, I mean, he went to the ashram and he met Yudhishthir Maharaj. And naturally, Yudhishthir Maharaj, as being the perfect host, he said, please come, all of you, welcome, please come and have meals with us. So Durvas Muni said, he had come with thousands of his disciples. And he said, we'll go and bathe in the river and we'll come back. Meanwhile, you can keep all the food ready. So Yudhishthir Maharaj will go and tell Draupadi, so please prepare the feast for Durvas Muni. And Draupadi said, "Oh my Lord, I finished eating today and I've already washed the Akshay Patra." Then, no, they didn't know what to do. All of them were confused what to do. And Durvas Muni, if he gets angry, he'll just curse. He's a great exalted Muni, but his nature was that he will quickly get angry. And when he gets angry, he will just curse left, right, and center. So everybody was afraid of his curse. And this is precisely why Duryodhana had sent him there. So, meanwhile, Draupadi, of course, she was the ideal devotee. Immediately, she took shelter of Krishna. Oh, Krishna, Dwarakavasi, what do I do? Now, see, this is the big situation we have got into. And Krishna never, we saw how Krishna is called Achyuta, right? Who never fails in his affection for his devotees. So Krishna came immediately and to the forest and he told Draupadi, give me that Akshay Patra. And from the Akshay Patra, he took only one small bit of grain was stuck to it. And he took that and he put it into his mouth and he ate it and he burped and he said, I'm full. So they had managed to feed Krishna. He was full. And because of that, all Durvas Muni and all these people, they are parts of Krishna only. And so when Krishna was full, they also started feeling full. And that is Krishna's Leela. So they felt very full and they thought, oh my God, Krishna must have prepared so many items. I can't put even a morsel into my mouth, so let us leave. And they left. So this is Krishna. So just to say how that if you satisfy Krishna, everybody will be satisfied. Initially, maybe those who don't know Krishna consciousness or those who have a different, uh, in the sense they're not able to, because of, in this materialistic world, people have got too many material attachments and all that. So initially, they may not, appreciate Krishna consciousness, but over a period of time, when they how beautiful it is. Everyone ultimately, this is for those who cannot appreciate. But otherwise, ordinary people, whenever they see devotees, how nicely their nature, their attitude, and then their attitude towards work, towards people, then they start appreciating Krishna consciousness. And simply, how do they please everyone? They're not trying to impress people, but because they're doing everything the way to satisfy Krishna, then automatically it's pleasing to everyone. So this is what that those are on this path are resolute in purpose and the aim is one. And of course, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So if you don't think of Krishna, if you think of Krishna and know everything is connected to Krishna, then we simply think about Krishna and everyone is included in that. Right? That is the perfect way to be connected with everyone and at the same time with Krishna. How is that? We meditate on Krishna because he is the Supreme Lord. And what about everyone else? They're also parts of him. So when we start serving Krishna, we render maximum benefit to everyone. Because Krishna, all a part of him. He is affectionate to everyone. And when somebody prays to him, then he creates all good fortune for everyone connected to him. Even say he's in the family of a devotee is blessed, or even in the organization he works, it's blessed, or the city in a city, 1% of the population become nice devotees. Then Krishna is so happy, he blesses everyone else also. So in that way, everybody is means connected to everyone while thinking about Krishna. The opposite is, if you don't have faith in Krishna, then your this thing is many branched, right? Intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Because you have so many desires, because you want to be connected with so many things in this world. And opposite of that is a devotee. He is also connected to different, all rooted through Krishna. So that's the difference. Then text 42 to 43. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation um, to the heavenly planets, resultant power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So normally, we see some Brahmanas reciting Vedas, and then we think, oh, they are all very pure bhaktas of God. No, it is not like that. I mean, they could be also. It's not that all priests are not pure, cannot be bhaktas. It's not like that. But generally, because Vedas mainly deal with how to live, a very good material life and the mode of goodness. Vedas take us to that point, to understanding that I'm not the body, I'm the soul. And then it takes us to the next level, which is Upanishads. And in Upanishads, we hear about all the qualities of soul, of God as in the impersonal way. His quality is, he doesn't have any material qualities, doesn't have a material form like that. It describes in a negative way, because when people are very much, because Vedas are only talking about material enjoyment. So mostly it talks about, pleasing the devatas who are a part of this material world, and they're not like Krishna. They have some material, material, what do you call, they are tainted with a little material. And but they are agents of Krishna. They've been authorized to cater to our needs, to take care of this universe. And so when we Vedas are talking about performing yajnas to please all these devatas, and he says that when we please them, because we are giving all these their share of the thing in the yajnas, and that reaches them, they also get fortified by that, and they are also giving everything in return to us: nice rain, nice prosperity, nice children, and nice positions. And so he says that in this way, you both can be happy in this material world in the mode of goodness. Right now, people want to enjoy all this using the mode of goodness of by praying to God or performing yajnas. Instead, they just want to take the easy way out, just exploit other people and climb over their shoulders. That's easy. You don't have to do anything. No need to pray. No need to do anything. So Vedas are recommending these fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets also, and result in good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification of opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So this is all. They think this is the most pious thing. You keep doing all these yajnas which are given in the Vedas, and you satisfy the devatas, and you get all benedictions, and you enjoy in a mode of goodness way, no troubling others. Enjoy, but so this is this is what the Vedas say. Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, it is said. Those who perform the 4-month penances become eligible to drink beverages to become immortal and happy forever. So that is the Chaturmasya. So this is what the Vedas are recommending. Then text 44. So Krishna is not appreciative of that. He's saying, Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam tayapa hrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavna vidiyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment, material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So it doesn't mean that you have to give up everything to have devotion. It means that you're not attached to it. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment, some attachment will be there because we have this material body. We're identifying, we're not completely liberated yet, but we're trying to become devotees. Some attachment will be there. That is okay. That will not make us bewildered. But those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, The resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So you see, the two are opposite ends of the thing. One is sense enjoyment, the other is God realization. If one is too much attached to sense enjoyment, then they will not be interested in rendering devotional service to the Supreme Lord. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. So Maya is, completely covered them. So they are not going to do devotional service with a fixed mind. And Krishna is telling why the Vedas are not perfect. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So because this is opposite of what the Vedas are saying. The Vedas are recommending how to lead, it's all under the subject matter is only three modes. Even, all the Natya Shastra, Dhanurveda, Ayurveda, so many things, all these things. But, they're not spiritual, they're material. It is for, that's what, living life in a mode of goodness way, but with this body. So that is why he's telling, oh Arjuna, we should learn this verse also. Traigunya Vishaya Vedha Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastu Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. So he's saying the Traigunya Vishaya Veda, the Vedas deal with three modes. That's all. It is not going above that. And he's telling Arjuna, you become transcendental to that. Be free from all dualities. Because Vedas are talking about dualities, how to become happy and offer, how to avoid distress, how to become rich and avoid poverty, go to the heavenly planets and avoid being born here and or to the lower planets. So it's got all these dualities. But he says, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Right? And the self means you're getting you're identifying with your soul, and then you can be anywhere. You're not disturbed. All the Prabhupada says, all the living entities who are struggling very hard for existence, for them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom, advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely Mahabharata. So that is why Gita is also a Shruti, because it's part of Mahabharata, which is a Itihasa, and it is part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. So Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life, but it is not perfect yet, because Upanishads only talk about one aspect of the Lord, that is, he's transcendental, he's spiritual, but it doesn't describe him, his personality, that he's a person. And about bhakti also, it doesn't. That this transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. So this is the highest, topmost perfection, Bhakti Yoga. And this happens when we completely take shelter of Krishna. There are three more verses. Let me see if I can finish. Anyway, I'm not rushing. I want to deal everything properly. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So he's saying that, don't worry, if I go above Vedas, then what about Vedas? So he's giving the example that it is like, in our example, we can say, suppose you become a billionaire, then why should you worry whether I will have 1,000 rupees, lakh rupees? You already, it's all included in that. In the same way, he is saying that in the villages, they have many, many wells, each for a different purpose. Something is for drinking water, because the water is very sweet and pure. So everybody will go there to draw water only for drinking. They will not wash clothes there. Then there is another well which you can use for washing your vessels, washing your clothes. Then maybe another for vessels, like this. Different wells for different activities. One for bathing and so on. But suppose they have a river running by, by the side of the village, then that can serve the purpose of all the wells. In a river, because it's flowing water, it's constantly fresh water. So you can use it for drinking, you can bathe in that, you can wash your clothes, wash your vessels, everything. So that is why it's saying, if you know the purpose of the Vedas, then all this, whatever is required through the Vedas, is easily served by, what is the purpose behind them? Purpose behind the Vedas is actually to purify us and take us to Krishna. So you become a devotee, then you know the purpose of the Vedas. All what you can get through the Vedas, you get very easily by being a devotee. Because Krishna has only created those Vedas. Vedas are material benedictions. But if you take shelter of Krishna, Krishna will take care of our material needs also. So that is why he says, the purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. So imagine, Krishna is providing for everyone, even atheists, even those who don't worship him, those who are very materialistic, everybody is maintaining. And do you think for his devotee who takes shelter of him, he will not maintain them? He takes special interest in them. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. But Prabhupada is saying it's not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals, nor is it possible to study all the Vedanta and Upanishads thoroughly. So we are at an advantage in that way. We are not able to do all those things. We are not able to follow all the rituals or study all the Vedas. So it's good in this way. This is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of the Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. So if you chant Hare Krishna, then you come to the perfection of life, because after studying the Vedas, after many, many births, they will understand that Vasudevam Sarvamiti, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. After many, many births only, a wise man worships Krishna. And at that time he realizes Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Vasudeva, Krishna is everything. And such a great truth is there. And here in devotional service, we are going directly to Krishna. We're not going through all these lower, learn all the Vedic rituals, then you study Upanishads, then you come to, Jnana Kanda, and then Upasana Kanda and all that. No, no. We're going directly to Krishna, which is the goal of the. And so we are very happy. I mean, we're very fortunate, because in Kali Yuga, it's not even possible to learn all the Vedas purpose, properly, and to chant it properly and to follow all the rituals. No. So in this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. Best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. So if you know Krishna, you know everything is under his control. So you surpass all these, lower forms of learning and knowledge by directly taking to bhakti, which is what Krishna wants. And he's taking Arjuna to that point only. Okay, I will stop now. So are there any questions or comments? Hare Krishna. Okay, otherwise then Krishni Mataji. Yeah, we will do one. What is 748 and 49? Okay, can you ask the
Hare Krishna.
question? Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Can you hear me? Mataji, am I clear? I'm just using.
Very clear.
Today I'm using mobile. So. Okay. What is binding us in this material world?
Mataji, can you repeat?
What is binding us in this material world?
We are expecting the result for all the works what we are doing.
Yes, isn't it, Krishni? What we you?
Yes, attachment.
Hmm.
No.
Yes. And that attachment is expressed in results for our work. Yeah.
Okay. Which are the two types of yoga which satisfies the real purpose of the Vedas? Which are the two types of yogas which satisfies the real purpose of the Vedas?
Is it Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga?
Yes. Yes. All the purpose of the Vedas are achieved by performing Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, Utkarshni Mataji.
Hare Krishna, which is the highest quality of life?
Which is the highest quality of?
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Yes, we
I'm
can
not
hear.
audible. Yeah, okay. I'm in the 40th text. Okay. Which is the highest transcendental quality of work?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Whatever work we are doing, we must have to keep in mind that we are doing the work to satisfy Krishna.
Yes, Utkarshni.
Yes, Mataji. Activating Krishna consciousness and acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation for sense gratification is the highest transcendental. Thank you. Thank you. And then next. How can we satisfy everybody?
Hare Krishna,
what?
Mataji.
Yes.
If we satisfy Krishna, then everything is satisfied around us.
Okay. Mataji, Hare Krishna. Is it okay? That sentence
Yes,
is okay,
yes.
Mataji? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what does Veda deals with?
Sense
Hare Krishna
gratification.
Mataji.
What does Veda deals with?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, please.
Knowledge about Lord Krishna.
Okay. Some more points?
What is right and
Yes, Mataji, please.
it Is what is right and what is wrong. It gives a picture of what is right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It is Vedas. Now the people are attracted with the Vedas for attaining their comfortable living, even after their leaving the body, so that they seek that Surga and enjoyment, everything should be guaranteed. That is why they are interested in doing lots of rituals and all those things as per the Veda Suktas.
Yeah, pleasing devatas, material enjoyment.
Yeah. For me, yeah.
Mataji, is it okay, Mataji?
And all these material things are controlled by the three modes. So
Three modes.
they are only with the concern with the three modes. Yes.
Okay, those three modes, anybody knows which are the three modes of material nature? Can anyone say?
Hare Krishna. Is that Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic modes?
Yes.
Yes.
Mode of goodness, ignorant, passion. Okay. So there's a nice point in 44th shloka, why Gita is also comes under Shruti or Shruti itself. Can anyone answer that?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Because it comes in Mahabharata.
Because it is?
It comes in Mahabharata.
Yes. Yeah. It's a fifth Veda, namely that is Mahabharata. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Bhagavad
Krishna.
Gita is a part of the fifth Veda.
Yeah.
And
This,
name,
may I know that which is called Pancham Veda? Is this Mahabharata or Bhagavad Gita?
Mataji?
Pancham Veda is Mahabharata because it's an Itihasa, no? And Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata, so it is Shruti. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is also called Gita Upanishad, right? Because it's also considered to be part of Upanishad. But also because Mahabharata is, it's considered as the fifth Veda because actually, yeah, you can say Bhagavad Gita is also the fifth Veda because it is also coming from Krishna. And so, here, it's mentioned that Gita as part of it.
No, I heard that exclusively Bhagavad Gita is referred as Pancham Veda actually, because that is the essence of the all Vedas, no, in Bhagavad Gita, and they are giving that precisely in the Upadesha, just like an advice by Lord Krishna. Whereas in Mahabharata, so many humanistic tendencies and all those stories and unbelievable stories, so many things are coming upon there. Okay.
Yeah, it is a Itihasa actually.
Yeah.
And that is also.
Itihasa is a description of the, it is a description. It is a detailed story actually. So many other things we have to take as a examples or a what you call indication. It is not as it is. Because
Here.
So many things,
Okay.
even the Pandita also don't stick upon all those things like that. You take up the essence. That's what we have to see that. Because in Mahabharata, in so many, humanistic tendencies, crying and, humanistic tendencies by Arjuna, and he is after so many nymphs and all. And, Duryodhana is after this lust and all those things. All those things, that is a reflection of the human tendencies actually. Okay. So that Upanishad, the correct path of the rightful advice is coming through Sri Krishna only.
Yeah, but here Prabhupada has written, actually, why it's called fifth Veda is, namely, after when the activities of sense gratification, namely the Karmakanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas. That is also Vedas, Vedic literature, different. As the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is also considered part of the Vedas. And that is why, because it is Shruti, it is considered as Veda. Even though it is Itihasa, it is considered to be a fifth Veda. I mean, and Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. That's what he said. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. So both Mahabharata is also Upanishad, and and then he's saying that Upanishads are apart from Vedas. I mean, they're part of Vedas, but they're different from it, and the next grade. So Mahabharata is also the next grade because it is Krishna himself is there, and there's a lot of Pandavas are there, and it is establishing how Dharma will only win. So in that sense, it's considered Veda as part of that Veda. So that's what it says. So it's an Upanishad.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Because great, what you call, the greatest gurus are saying, so we cannot oppose that. Yeah, we have to accept their wisdom. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Finished?
Mataji, yes, Mataji. I thought I'll ask about Neha Vikramana Sasti. But anyways, Mataji, any other question you want to ask, Mataji, please?
No, you continue. You have one or two.
Okay. Mataji gave an explanation by telling a story about Bharata. Can anyone?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Shall I?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, Bharata was a sannyasi. For
Actually,
the purpose,
okay.
yeah, for the purpose of doing meditation, he went at the bank of the river. The river name I don't know, Mataji. And he was.
No, actually, I got some few calls. My question got incomplete.
Okay.
No. Based on this 48th shloka, na, Neha Bikramana Asusti, how much that is a little endeavor in this, there'll be no loss or diminution, a little advancement in the path of perfection in the Krishna consciousness. So that in that this part, Mataji did explain, gave an example. So can anyone say that?
She is telling that past time.
She's telling Mataji. Oh, I couldn't hear.
About the
Because-
reincarnation, no?
Okay.
How he carried this thing about.
Yes, Mataji. Sorry. I got 2 calls. I couldn't follow her. Sorry. Okay. Please continue.
Okay, Mataji. Then he was meditating at the bank of the river. By that time, one of the mother deer, she was feeling very much painful because she was about to deliver the baby come, but suddenly she heard the voice of the lion from far off, and by that time, seeing that agony of the mother deer, this Bharata, he felt too much pity towards, and he saved that baby deer from the mother, and later he took that deer at his ashram and he started keep on taking care that. But later on he completely forgot about his duty. Actually, he wanted to reach at the lotus feet of Krishna, so that he was doing meditation, but completely he forgot about, and his complete concentration was on the deer. The time this baby left from ashram, also he was keep on thinking about, and anyway, what happened, he fell in the river something there. I got doubt. and he died. But the last moment, the death of him, also he was keep on thinking about that deer, so that he got the birth of deer in the next birth. But in that birth, what happened? Suddenly he realized actually, again he went to the nearby ashram, and he totally left out of his group of friends, other deers, and he was keep on sitting next to that ashram, and he completely, with full of agony and regret because of his past unwanted attachment, he got a rebirth as deer. Then he was keep on meditating. Krishna realized that, and again Krishna gave the rebirth for him as Jadavarada. He got a birth in Brahmin family, and that till there I know, Mataji.
So he was remembering everything, all the Krishna consciousness which he had learned in the first Bharata life, it was carried forward. No, he didn't lose any of it.
Yes, yes.
Even in a deer's body, he didn't lose it. So that is what. Even a little advancement, there's no loss or diminution.
Yeah. Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. What do you think that you will become? So, especially being a saint and ascetic, he should have known that whatever he is thinking at the time of death, he will be like that only. That point also he forgotten. That is wonderful. That is the we doubt how he was ascetic for all those times. He must have known that point. Again, Krishna says, when at the time
Hello.
of your death, you just remember my name, so that I will take you to the my side, like that. So that also there. So at that time he was remembering the deer. So he has been like that only. That's what.
Because
story.
Maya is very tricky. Even you have the knowledge, she can easily fool you by your weakness. And he should, because he was not associating, the importance of association we learn. He was not associating with any Vaishnavas, with his guru. So because of that, because Maya is very powerful, she can attack anybody. Anyone who's in this material world, she can attack. And unless he is pure devotee, 100%, then okay, protection. But even 1% less, and she can enter. And so she, tried to test him, coming in the form of a deer. And he just fell for it. He should have, actually his weakness was he was not, suppose he was associating with some devotee friends. Then they would think, hey, Bharata, you've changed so much. Nowadays, you're only talking of the deer all the time. Deer did this and deer did that. What has happened to you? Then they would have warned him, no? But no association at all, alone, then, Maya can easily enter your mind. That is why he fell down.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Now I remember another story about Indra also, Indra was, being as a Varaham, and very happily living with hundreds, tens of this one,
Piglets.
that Varaha, piglets, and happy. And somebody has told that, what are you doing, Indra? You have been, you are enjoying here. What you are doing? I think that I remember that story also. Then he
Yes.
was realized his mistake, and he has gone back to Swarga. Is it not, Mataji?
Yes. That is, Brahma cursed him.
Yeah.
Because he did something, for which, okay, you be a.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was very happy, very happy being in that, with the piglets and all those things. And somebody told him, realized his mistake, and he was pardoned, and he has gone back as the Indra.
Yes, Brahmaji came, he was feeling so compassionate. He was lamenting because his piglet wife, pig wife died, and the piglets also, and he was lamenting and lamenting. So Brahma felt so sad. What has happened to Indra? Imagine. So he came and he sprinkled from his Kamandalu Ganga water on him. And then, Indra came back to senses. Yeah. So Maya is very powerful.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all devotees. Thank you wonderful for this wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
devotees, please participate in this asking questions or answering.
Mataji,
Shravanti Mataji, you didn't speak today. You said you're scared. There's nothing like
No,
that.
no, she did, I think. No?
Shravanti Mataji did? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Okay.
Mataji, shall I ask one question?
Yeah.
I think
Morning
today,
I sent in group.
actually, it's 9:14. Mataji?
Yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow I'll ask.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Remember, write it down and you can.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Srila
Thank
you.
Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Bye.
ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
And
Bhagavad Gita Granth Raj ki.
bye.